Welcome fellow coders to another illuminating tutorial on Flexteck. Today we embark on a journey into the fundamental element of C programming. We'll be treating identifiers and keywords. Understanding these building blocks is crucial for anyone diving into the world of C. Let's unravel this mystery together. Hope you're ready. In this tutorial, we will learn about two important concepts in C programming, identifiers and keywords. We will see what they are, how they are used, and what rules we need to follow when naming them. Now, let's start with keywords in C. Now, the question is, what are keywords? In C, keywords are reserved words that have predefined meanings in the language. These words serve specific purpose and cannot be used as identifiers. What is identifier? Identifiers are names given to variables and functions, and so on. Examples of C keywords include int, float, if, for, and why. These are just the example. Another question to be asked, how many keywords are there in C? The number of keywords in C may vary depending on the compiler or the standard version of C. However, the ANSI standard defines 32 keywords as follows: auto, double, int, struct, break, else, long, switch case. That's you have the switch, you have case, we have enum, we have register, type def, char, extern, return, union, we have const, we have float, shirt, unsigned, continue, for, sign, void, default, go to, size of, volatile, do, if, static, and why. Now, these are the 32 keywords as defined by the ANSI standard. Now let's look at the use of keywords in C. Keywords play a crucial role in defining the syntax and structure of C programs. They indicate the type of data, control flow, and other essential functionality. Proper use of keywords ensure that your code is correctly interpreted by the compiler. For example, int, char, float, double, etc. are used to define data type for variable and constants. We also have the if, else, switch, case, etc. are used to words implement conditional statement or branching. The for, why, the why are used to implement looping or iteration. Break, continue, go to are used to alter the flow of control in a program. Return, void are used to specify the return type or value of a function. Const, volatile are used to modify the behavior or properties of a variable or a function. Typedef, struct, union, enum are used to create user-defined data types or structures. Now that I've told you the uses of keywords in C, now let's move to identifiers in C. What are identifiers? Identifiers are user-defined names that are given to variables, constants, functions, arrays, pointers, structures, and so on have you. They are used to identify and refer to these elements in a program. For example, int x, here x is an identifier for an integer variable. That means when we want to store an integer, we'll use the int keyword to tell the compiler that it is an integer we want to store in this x. X is a variable name. Here we have char name. This is an array of characters. The name is an identifier. This name you see here is an identifier. We call it a variable. It's an identifier for a character array. Here we have floats, area, float R. Area, area is an identifier for a function that takes a float parameter and returns a float value. Now, the return value should be a float. That means it will not be, if it was to be an integer, we'll have something like an int. Let me say we're having a return value, something like this. It will be, but when we have float, we'll be returning something like this or like this. This is a float value. Now that we have seen examples of identifiers and what they do, let's take a look at the rules for identifiers. Here are some rules that we need to follow when naming identifiers in C. They are: 1. Start with a letter or underscore. Identifiers must begin with a letter, uppercase or lowercase, or an underscore. 2. Subsequent characters. Following the first character, an identifier can contain letters, digits, or underscore. 3. Case sensitivity. C is case sensitive, thus my var and my var are different identifiers. That, as you can see, my var, this V here is a capital letter V, while this everything here is small letters. So there are two different variables. Reserve keywords. Avoid using C keywords as identifiers to prevent conflict. Number 5, special characters. An identifier cannot contain any special symbols or characters other than underscore. So you're not allowed to use symbols or characters such as F, the hash, the dollar, the modulo, the and, the star, and so on. The only character that is allowed is the underscore. Now that we have seen the rules, and I bet you should have understood these rules. Now let's weave this knowledge into an example. We start by word, including our standard library, stdio, the standard input and output. This is a header file. Then description of our code. Um, this is the main, we're going to use the main function. We're talking about the identifiers and keywords in C. And our return, it has to return our run on success. All right. So what we're going to do now is, give you an example. Let's start with our main function. Start by int main void. Okay. Now let's use the int keyword int. Okay, here, number of students and average score are identifiers. You see, the number of students, average scores, they are what? Identifiers. But the int, the float, the if, the printf are keywords. That comes to the end of this tutorial. Mastering identifiers and keywords is akin to unlocking the doors to the language of C. Keywords provide the syntax. The identifier personalize your code. Embrace these fundamentals, and your C programming journey will flourish. Happy coding. Please like and subscribe, and watch out for my next YouTube video on C programming. Have a nice day.